Hey guys, hello, hi everybody. How's everyone doing? I'll give everybody a chance to get in and get comfy. We are definitely going to need I don't know, I need my comfort blanket. I think that's what I'm going to need for today. I'm very sorry that it took a couple minutes for me to get live. Oh my goodness. Allie and I were watching Stu Peters this morning. He did a great interview with Diligent Denizen. So if you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, you absolutely should. Not only was it such a good interview, it was such a good interview because Dilly is so wonderful. But we also got a little bit of a clue live on air. And of course, Allie and I then had to go and start to run that down. If you guys aren't familiar with Diligent Denizen, he is the gentleman. So he's a concerned citizen. Hey, Pablo. Hey, Igor. Hey, Nash. Hey, Cryptic. Hey, guys. So yes, he had the opportunity to go and Diligent Denizen is his name. Now, I believe that he does have a YouTube channel, and quick plug, just a quick shout out because he's done such remarkable work. He is someone who has been following this case really, really closely for a long time. He is the gentleman who found the Penguich receipt. It's such a good interview. But while we were watching that interview, a clue, a tip came in while it was happening. And of course, we were like, so, we went right down the rabbit hole immediately because we didn't really have a choice at that point. And so we are working on it in background, but I was working on it until, 10 minutes before I was supposed to go on. And I was like, oh no. So it's a lot of tracking down things, but yes, a clue. Hello to Houston. Hello. Hey, you guys. So thank you guys also for giving me a chance to, hey, QGU. Hi. Hello. Thank you so much for the super chat. That is so sweet and wonderful and kind. Thank you so much, QGU. I adore you. Yes, Diligent is absolutely that person who, oh yes, so Diligent. Oh, Tickle Your Homies, also incredible username. I'm trying to get better at this. Tickle Your Homies 77. Thanks. And I'd love to know what planes, if any, were following. I'm like, oh my goodness. I know after poor Candace and poor Baron had the Hades jets kind of maybe following them around, it was like, oh boy, this is not great. So I am really, really happy to see you guys. We're going to be talking today about something that is really serious. I'm like, let me just preface everything from there. And you guys will understand what I'm talking about as we talk about it. Oh, great. We're already having as an update, the cooling fan has been ordered. Thank you guys so much. You guys have blessed my life. It has been ordered. It took a little bit of extra time because I didn't get it on Amazon. I got it on a different website, which I shouldn't have done in retrospect, but that's okay. We are just fine. Yes. And if you guys would do me the hugest favor ever, if you would hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, all that good stuff. You guys already know. I so appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. And we always want to add people to TSP. So yes, the quiet fan. I'm thrilled. It's a quiet fan, which I feel is a big deal. It needs to be a quiet one because otherwise, how will you hear me yapping, right? Hey, Kathy, it's so good to see you. Hey, Kino. I love seeing familiar faces and I love seeing new ones too. Hey, Prob Madre of 3. I love that name. That's cute. So I wanted to get a chance to get everybody in here, but I wanted to talk to you guys first about what we're going to be covering today because I think it's really, really important. Now, yes, yes, excellent comment, and hello to Corby. Yes, that is part of this story. That is part of the story that we are diligently working on. Hello, everybody say hello to Mr. Corby Hall, who's in our chat here, which is so lovely. That is part of what we are working on. And as you guys can imagine, when you're talking about individuals, especially those folks that are powerful and that are, kind of in the middle of things, especially anybody who I wouldn't just call a standard henchman, you know what I mean? Someone who clearly has some power in the situation, all of that stuff. You have to be really, really cognizant of the ways that you talk about someone and the research that you do on background and the information that you get, because we don't want to make an allegation toward any person that's unfounded. Questions are good, questions are important, and questions are coming, but it has to be done in a way that is ethical and also is going to make sure that we have everything buttoned up, because what we've noticed is that as soon as we start talking about a piece of information, what tends to happen? Well, that information either, they try to cloak it or excuse it or whatever the case may be. I do recall with our favorite pastor, Pastor R, it is a data point, in my opinion, that quite literally only 2 days after Stu and I started talking about this aviation anomalies, we'll call it that, 2 days after that, Pastor, Sailor Rob over there, he sure did go and he hopped his little behind onto a podcast and decided to excuse every single place that he's been during 2026, or actually since Charlie's passing. So I thought, well, that timing is just fascinating. So for me, I'm trying to get you modded right now. I'm trying to click multiple buttons at the same time. I don't know if I'm able to do it. Oh, you know what it is? I can't do it when I'm not in YouTube. And what you guys should know is that in YouTube, I am able to make adjustments to that sort of thing. But in StreamYard, which is what I'm looking at right now, I'm not able to make that adjustment. So thank you for pinging me. I will make sure to take care of it after. Sorry. And Critter, welcome to the team. Thank you for being here. You're so appreciated. But give me until after the show because I can't do it from here. I'm sorry about that. And then mods, thank you guys for being here. You guys are so wonderful. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you to the chat for using all of our code words and keywords. We are going to need code words and keywords today. So I am asking all of Team Small Potatoes, please, 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 in the chat, I love your guys' comments. I love to see what you guys have to say. I try to read them as I go. Please, 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 can we please use code words and keywords, because today we are talking about a topic that is going to automatically cause some problems. So it's one of those days, guys. So we're talking about transportation today. We are talking about transportation today. So I need everybody to just please be mindful, because it's super important. Because yes, initials for any persons, right? Nicknames are always good. We are pretty much, yes, right, exactly. Please use emojis, please, all of that. And thank you guys for working with me through these disclaimers. It is unfortunate that we have to self-censor a little bit. Hey, Matt, I'm glad you're here. Hey, J-Flo. It's unfortunate that we have to self-censor a little bit right now, but once we kind of get into these topics, then I think you guys will understand why. And it's important. And it's also important for us to stay, ethical, mature, because the stuff that we're going to talk about today requires that. So I'm like, guys, I know I want it to be a fun one so bad, but it's not a fun one, you guys. But it's an important one. And it's one that everybody, I've seen many, many, many of you caring, loving, invested people that I'm getting to know. I have seen you guys make comments before about how we needed to explore other things that could be being moved. And so, as you guys probably know, I have been very resistant to that. So trigger warnings and all of that. But I hope that you guys, as we've gotten to know each other, you guys will be able to trust me that I'm going to try to handle this topic in as mature and considerate of a way possible. But I do want to make sure that I give that disclaimer, especially for any folks out there who feel like it's not, of course, that are, impacted, because I really, really understand. So I definitely have resisted diving into that topic because it's such a sensitive and delicate topic. But we have to go where the information takes us. And that is what we're going to do today. Initially, when the idea that, okay, I'm just going to say little people one time. Hope you guys know what I mean. It's like, yeah, we're doing a cap and gown day today a little bit, only because I'm going to have to really use the code words and the keywords, and you know what I'm saying? Like, you know. So I think that you guys probably know what I mean when I say littles. A lot of folks for many months have been, you know, talking about the fact that they were concerned, understandably, that there could potentially be an element of that kind of movement taking place. Now, I want everyone to know I'm not making an allegation. I'm not making an allegation, but I do believe that we have to address some stuff that's come up. Because for me, it has put some pieces together that I wasn't expecting. And I'm sure that you guys, you know, have been thinking about this topic, and it's probably been weighing heavily on a lot of people's hearts for a long time. Now, I was never ignoring that element of it. What I was waiting for was to see some sort of like evidence before discussing something as sensitive, as is important, you know. I mean, it's all important no matter what, if anything, is being moved around. But that, yeah, exactly. Yep, Laura, you nailed it. It's time to go there. So that is why I am sorry. Oh, Rio's messaging me. Rio, if you're in here, I'm like, I will get back to you soon. Okay. I'm only going to have it on for high priority alerts because I do want to make sure that I'm able to focus on this topic and also give it the respect that it deserves. I spent this entire morning like praying about this. And so, you know, I'm like, let's all say a quick one right now. Because I really think that we have to think about this as a potential element. But I don't want this to be the sort of thing that weighs heavily on our hearts and minds, unless it has to. I also do know that it has been weighing on folks' hearts and minds since then. So, disclaimers out of the way, let's talk about it. When it was initially brought to my attention, the potential that this sort of thing could be what we are seeing, when it was first brought to my attention, I, of course, started to consider that possibility because, you know, we have to look. As you guys know, a great deal of individuals who are associated with TP, they all have a strange number of these ties, whether it be an orphanage, and we're going to talk about their specific businesses. We're just going to focus on one or two. But whether it be their specific businesses, these charities that they are trying to introduce as something that they are working on preventing. Now, just for my folks that are maybe not as familiar, I'm like, I want to start with the 100 level because I don't want to just assume that everybody already knows. But oftentimes, like, my hand is shaking, guys. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't like this topic. I don't like this topic for me. I don't like this topic for any of you guys. I don't like this topic one bit. But we're gonna do it. Okay. So there is an inordinate, in my opinion, number of individuals associated with TP that have a background and history in working in organizations that present themselves as trying to stop that from happening. And I really hope that everybody knows what I'm talking about. As I'm, you know, giving this information, like I can kind of see the chat going by. Okay. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So as we know, there are individuals such as Victor. There are individuals such as Erica. There are individuals such as, I believe it's a McCoy family member. I'm like, guys, you know, just so everybody knows, I have not yet had the opportunity because this realization kind of hit me more recently. But as you guys know, as soon as the light goes off, the camera goes on. So it's like in due time. Exactly. Thank you. And that is part of what I am going to continue to work on in the background. You know, we've got all of our projects and everything like that, but I'm I don't want to like accuse anyone of anything without having all of the detailed information. That being said, it has been brought to my attention that a large number of individuals have an affiliation with these child transportation charities. Now, whether that is to simply provide funding to those organizations, whether it is that they actually conduct these high-risk missions, I believe that it's going to be Victor, our friend Victor, who specifically worked to provide personal care products in this arena for victims of this, in war zones, right? Now, for me, I have been thinking to myself, okay, that's unusual. I don't think that that makes a ton of sense, but perhaps maybe that's what they're doing. Well, in case people aren't familiar, there have been many historical cases where individuals claim that they are being sent to prevent something when instead they are engaging in something. Now, I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to be Victor, who is our person that we're thinking is on these flights, because of course there's flights. You guys know that already. But these organizations, they often say that they are working to prevent this from happening. And historically, a large number of individuals who say that they're trying to prevent it are actually engaging in it. This is a historical precedent that we are aware of, that we, know from the past. Now, the reason why I had initially thought, I don't know if that is a correct fit, is because of the locations of the flights that I was seeing. Now, that is not to say that it, couldn't have been or whatever in the background through some other method. It's not to say that it couldn't have been happening. However, what I was seeing kind of continually when I've looked into other cases of this happening is that, generally speaking, we would have expected to see things like a number of flights to Romania, right? We would have seen flights in and out of likely the Balkan states. We would have seen perhaps flights in and out of Paris. As I have looked through the island network, you guys know what I'm saying, right? The Jeff, yeah. So I was trying to track along with, okay, so where was Jeff, for example, conducting this sort of thing? How was it that he was going about this? And you would see, generally speaking, this sort of thing happening where folks would come from that part of the world and then unfortunately come to some little Saint Island, right? Or they would go to New York, or they would go to, one of these kind of hotspot locations. And that was something that we had observed in the past. I thought to myself, well, I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing anyone going to Romania. I'm not seeing anyone go to Bosnia. I'm not seeing anyone go, not on the turning point jets. I'm not seeing anyone go to Paris. I'm not seeing anyone go to, to Little Saint anything, right? Yes. And the number of flights in and out of Albuquerque, and I think that it was, it's been a while since that actual ranch has been operational. Although, don't act like I'm not trying to figure out what's going on in Albuquerque either way, because I'm it's too close for comfort. I don't like that. But anyway, for me, it had been not ruled out, but it had been decreased in its likelihood to the point where I was not willing to put it into my working theory at that time because, oh, Daisy, thank you. So sweet. So what I had thought was previously, it feels less likely to me that that is the sort of thing that's taking place. Is it possible that I'm missing a leg of the flights? Is it possible that some folks were being picked up overseas and then coming here? Well, I was not seeing that with any kind of regularity. I thought to myself, okay, so maybe it isn't as likely. Maybe it's just simply what we're thinking potentially could be the cargo aboard some of these fundraising and pastoral flights. Yes, shout out. So I'm not saying that that's not happening. However, for me, it did not feel as though there was a high enough degree of likelihood. What we were seeing much more often, and I'm okay, I'll pull it up on the stage here. Let's see if we can do that. There we go. Okay. What we were seeing much more often were these little out of the way airports, these little tiny out of the way airports, these little airstrips. And I continually was thinking to myself, well, I need to see what times it is that they're going to these places. Now, this, for example, is going to be Grove Municipal Airport, and that's located in Grove, Oklahoma. Now, what I'll show you guys before we get into it is that on this day, let me just make sure that we're interneting correctly. Okay, we are. Okay, so on this day, for example, we saw one of our associated jets. This is going to be July 20th of last year, so a year and some change. What we observed at that time was that while our standard pastoral aircraft was doing all of its maneuvers up and down the East Coast, they were kind of focused there. But there was another jet that was affiliated, and that other jet was going some kind of strange places. One of the stops that I was having trouble squaring was this stop. This is on July 20th, and it ends up going to Grove Municipal. It went to Grove Municipal, and it stayed the entire evening and then into the wee hours of the morning the next day. So as I started to take a look, and as you guys know, part of what I'm doing is I'm going airport by airport and doing an actual live look at each one of them, at every single individual stop. I understand that it's tedious. I understand there's probably easier, more streamlined ways to go through all of that information. But my real genuine feeling is, unless I actually get eyes on this location, I cannot actually see what the security looks like. I cannot actually see where the tower is located, because part of what ADSB Exchange does is it lets you actually see which hangar they pull up to, how many minutes they hang there on the tarmac, and what times of day and nights that it is. The reason that I like to go airport by airport is because that way I can actually see what time did you fly in, and once I take a look at this, usually municipal or regional airport, I can see the hangar that they pull up to. I want to see what that hangar looks like. I also want to see specifically what are the dark tower hours. What that means is that for those little tiny airports, they do not have an active tower. That's the place that, air traffic control would monitor people from. They do not have an active tower all the time. A lot of them keep like business hours. As you can imagine, for a large airport, you really do need to have folks there running the actual communications with jets going in and out, and, crop dusters and everything in between. But you need to actually have people there in the building. However, because of probably funding stuff, that's my impression, like funding stuff, they won't have it there overnight. They will just have folks there that are available. Oh, hi, Daisy. Everyone say hi to Daisy. She is our research hero. We love her. Yay. Thank you for being here. Okay. So for our folks that are flying in late at night, they are really, really kind of doing it on their own. Think to yourself what it would be like. Have you ever driven to, a store when it's closed, right? Think of your grocery store. Okay. Say it's noon. Okay. It's bustling. There are store attendants. There are other shoppers. There's people there, right? Well, now think to yourself, if you pulled up to that same store at 1 a.m., let's say, for example, it's 1 a.m., right? Now, at 1 a.m., it's dark. The doors are locked. There's no one there. There's like no other cars in the parking lot. There's not really anybody who is actively keeping an eye on the place. That's why, you see historically a lot of kind of shady deals happen overnight in parking lots, right? Airports are not much different. They really, really aren't. So when we're looking at these airports, I like to go and I want to say, what does it actually look like there? What would it look like if I pulled up there? And then, unfortunately, we can't get the nighttime look, but we can get a pretty good idea. So the first thing that I like to do is I like to pull up to the airport in question and actually go on the ground. I'm like, guys, we're going to say a quick one for our actual computer and to try to keep it from lagging. So I'm scrolling around slow. So this is right outside of this Grove Municipal Airport. Now, this most recent image is actually from May of 2024. So it's a little bit older. I like to take a peek around to see if I can find anything newer. And I think for this one, I was not able to. So these are going to be the most updated. It's in a fairly remote area of Oklahoma, as you can kind of see. And so as we look around this specific airfield, we can see that there's not much in the way of security. Because what we're looking at right there, this is going to be our actual runway. So when we are thinking about what does security look like at this location, what does it actually look like if I pull up here at 1 o'clock in the morning on a, warm summer night? Well, this is what I'm going to be flying into or out of. So for me, that sort of thing makes me think, okay, I'm a little bit less comfortable with the idea of this being a standard fundraising or pastoral visit. Now, like I said, when Pastor Rob went on to, oh my gosh, what's the name of the show? He went on to that little Tennessee church podcast, and he was specifically excusing to that man. Oh, hey, okay, Wayne Springer lives in Grove. Thank you. Yes, please email them to me. He has updated photos of the airfield. Okay, thank you so much. That'll be incredibly helpful. Now, I think that Grove seems like a fairly remote area to me. That has been my impression. So thank you, Wayne Springer. And my email address is on Escobar show at gmail.com. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. So as I looked around Grove, I started to think to myself, okay, they visited this location. This is, if I'm not mistaken, nearby to Grand Lakes, which, as I understand, is part of the reservation area in Oklahoma. And I'm like, please correct me in the chat. I have tried to, to research it on my own, but having a local, that's amazing. Okay, great. Oh, good. We have other Oklahoma folks. That's awesome. Well, hello to you guys. And again, this is not a judgment on any individual that is, associated with that area. The times of day when they happen to go to this place, in my opinion, do not seem to really correlate well. Yeah, proud of Grand Lakes. I love it. Thank you. We're researched together. I appreciate you guys so much. Well, hi. Thanks for getting sent by Daisy. That's awesome. Welcome in. So what I wanted to mention, guys, was the fact that this is not a criticism of any folks that live there. My concern started to be, what business might they be conducting in this area overnight? Now, please recall that, like I said, when they are coming in and when they are leaving, there does not seem to be any available tower. And a tower is quite literally just folks who are there to keep an eye on the place. They're there to, of course, help the pilots come in and out. But realistically, and more importantly, in my opinion, they're there to be a watchful eye. When I think to myself, well, gosh, if I were up to something, I probably wouldn't want that many eyes on me, right? This is just, my own hypothesis as I'm trying to put myself into the mind of, someone who might do this sort of thing. Now, I'm going to hop over to another location just so we can see if we can see it. Here's another view. Let me turn around. Like, oh my gosh, please say a quick one for our dear lag time on our screen. So as we come and we look around, when we are talking about security for an airfield, well, there's the airstrip, guys. There's the security, You got to be able to hop over all three rungs of the actual fence there, right? So when I'm thinking about what does security look like here and what might you be able to put onto a plane that shows up in the middle of the night and takes off in the middle of the night? Well, that to me does not look like much security, much in the way of it. If you wanted to place, in my opinion, anything onto that runway, it wouldn't be that hard to do so. Whether that was boxes, whether that was, something else. It doesn't look to me like it would be very hard. Now, please recall that what you do when you are flying in, okay, is rather than actually tower with anyone, then you would be using your clicker, and it quite literally, that's how you turn on the lights. Those are the runway lights. That's it. That is all of the monitoring. That is all of the, roles for anybody who's, going to be there to keep an eye on stuff. Like, no, the pilot just literally clicks in, comes in, conducts their business for X number of hours, and leaves. As I thought to myself, okay, so maybe they went there overnight, just like during dark hours and there's no tower, maybe they went there for a reason. Maybe, and what reasons could we realistically find? Keep in mind, please, that we're not just talking about like a crop duster jet. We are talking about an actual like fancy business jet. This is the sort of thing that like it's a fancy business jet. There's all kinds of rules and regulations for how big of an aircraft can land at a certain field. This one can accommodate that one of our Paradise jets. So I would guess that it would probably be a little bit unusual for the folks in Grove to see a, fancy multi-million dollar jet come in the middle of the night and leave. And I'm sure that the good people of Grove would probably be concerned with something like that if they were aware that it was happening, right? But when I'm thinking about what kind of business you might be conducting if this is where you were headed, then it occurred to me that maybe we were talking about something other than fundraising. So that specifically left me with their other, I don't want to say excuse, but I'm going to say excuse. Their other excuse, which seemed to be potentially those folks were busy. Oh my gosh, Daisy, stop. Oh my goodness, Daisy, stop. Stop. You're going to make me cry. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to freak out. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Look at my favorite little puppy. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You are an angel and a legend. Oh, I wish I could just give it right back to you for the Lexus Fund. And you deserve that, Lexus. And I hope that you get it soon. Thank you so much. This is my idol, guys. You guys know how I'm always like, oh, I love I love Baron, I love Candace and everything like that. I'm like, no, guys, my idol is Daisy. Like, we love the research girlies, and she is our queen. Thank you, honey. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Be still my heart. Thank you so much. You are just so wonderful. So like now I'm all Twitter pated. Thank you. And I love you so much. So as I have thought to myself, okay, what other business might it be that could be being conducted during this time? What other sort of things could they be conducting when they come in and stay, but just overnight? See, we know that Pastor Rob has for a long time said now that he specifically was going from place to place in order to do pastoral work, as in go and preach. Well, we know by the hours that these folks are landing at these airfields, there's no services at 1 a.m. There's no services overnight. There's no church services at the time that this is taking place. Now, maybe, hypothetically, theoretically, what else is it that they could be doing? I started to observe a pattern where we were seeing a couple flights that were going to these kind of out-of-the-way locations. We know that increased, unfortunately, after Charlie passed. We know that they were going to a number of locations that are little out-of-the-way, small airfields like this one. This is a pretty standard, example. But that they were coming in, staying for 25, 35 minutes, and then leaving. I thought to myself, okay, so what could be our excuses? What could we come up with in order to try to give these folks a good reason for why they might be here? What kind of good reasons could we have? Or are there only not so good ones? Another thought that I had was potentially it could be that he was just meeting with a donor. Okay. So I started to take a look into kind of what's going on in Grove. What's going on in Grove that would cause these folks to land here? Maybe they are meeting with a donor. The individuals that I ran into as kind of the folks that are kind of big money folks, well, it would appear that, from an industrial standpoint, there's not a huge donor pool in this area. Maybe they're going to a nearby area. I thought to myself, well, maybe potentially they could be conducting business nearby. So I started to kind of work my way out a little bit. As we look at this part of Oklahoma, you can see that there's a few things that are taking place. Now, this specific part of Oklahoma, it's very close by to the state line. And something that you guys might see is that there are other airfields. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse. I hope you can. That are nearby that are much larger locations. So this little airfield, this little out of the way airstrip, it specifically is right here. And as you can see, I don't know if you guys can read that, I bet you can't, but this is the Seneca Cayuga Nation. I thought to myself, okay, well, gosh, would you fundraise overnight for a couple hours? Maybe. Maybe they're going to the casino. Maybe there's casino money, right? Because as I looked at the industry and I'm like, guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. I have been trying very hard to find another reason and another, point of finance that could be taking place. I looked and I looked and I looked. I said, well, maybe there's a fundraiser. No, nothing. Well, maybe there was a meeting. Well, no, we know it's the middle of the night. Well, maybe they just went to go gamble. Well, okay, but Turning Point, being a Christian, Judeo Christian organization, maybe. But that doesn't quite seem like the most likely scenario, in my opinion, especially given the fact that we are talking about either pastoral stuff or fundraising stuff. And they had no events at that time. You're kidding. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me right now? Oh my gosh, can you guys hear me? There's no way that. Okay, am I back? I'm back. We made it. Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh my gosh, my entire. Okay, you know what's weird? My power in my office, just my power in my office went just for a second, but then I had to reboot and I had to restart my Wi-Fi. That's so weird. Oh my. Sailor Rob, calm down. Sailor Rob, leave us alone. Like, please. You're kidding. Like that. It was just in my office too. Oh my gosh. And I've been gone this whole time. I'm so sorry. I was sitting there being like, can you guys hear me? I'm fine. Oh my gosh. All right. We're back. We made it. Just so everybody knows. I'm like, the weather is mild. It's like a nice warm day. Like I'm not like in a thunderstorm or anything. It just, I refuse to believe. I'm like, guys, I literally refuse to believe that Pastor Rob, you're not that powerful. Come on. Anything overhead. Can someone else check for it? Well, all right, we're gonna check. We're gonna check because you're right. We gotta check. All right, fine. You want to check? Should we check really quick before we get back going? Okay, let's just check really quick. All right, we're gonna check, but it's not gonna be possible. I've decided that that's not possible. And so then I can just scare myself but otherwise I'll be sitting there thinking about it if I don't check. So hold please, everybody. Okay, come on, let's be good. Do we get 21? Okay, I've got those two, and then N9 PS. For all my follow along at home, folks, there are 3 axles, and they are N1098 Lima, and then they are N2100 Lima and N9 PS. So yes, I am checking right now. Not over my house. Yay. I'm checking right now on the live flight tracker. So if you guys, for my aviation at home people, that's how we can see them. Let's see here. Who is this? Let's check the history really quick. This is today. Okay. I think we're good. We're good. I'm like, God, honestly, stay away from me. Like, please stay away from me. I have heard, yes, this is a great point, Runner Doc. I have heard that. I've heard that as well, because, well, I mean, here's the problem, guys. Somebody made a really good point. They were talking about the fact that I think it was Glam Ham Radio, who's awesome. She's so cool. She does a lot of stuff with like showing the visuals. She does great breakdowns of. Could you guys not see? You're kidding. Thank you, Kino. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Hi, Chrissy. Oh, you guys, we're doing live TV right now, aren't we? Oh my gosh. Bless it. Okay. I'm like, focus. Oh my gosh. So this is me checking live what the different axle jets are, where they are. This is me checking the brief history, and we can actually do a live look. Someone said, what is she looking at? Oh, sorry. So here is us looking at where they've been today. They have been a lot of places today. Yeah, they've been everywhere. So this is Fort Bliss, where you guys know they're stationed. It looks like they're starting their move. So in regards to this great note here by Runner Doc, so just FYI, they Sailor Rob, you cannot be this powerful. Like, Sailor Rob, you cannot be this powerful. Is he that powerful? There's no way. There's no shot, right? Oh my gosh. There's no way. Like, I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad. Sailor Rob, stop it. Like, Sailor, I'm gonna give you the full Erica. Sailor Rob, stop cutting my internet. Okay, so here's what's happening. So just in the background. So third time's the charm. If it does, if it does cut again, I don't know. I'm coming back. I don't care. They're not gonna stop us. They're not gonna stop us. You know why? Because it's important. And because I get the feeling that it could be a coincidence. It could be a coincidence. But yes, we will be soldiering. I'm like, I wonder, okay, so everybody who's watching on Twitter, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually removing the Twitter stream, and then we're just going to be on YouTube because I find that takes a lot more for some reason out of this whole thing. So I'm going to take off the Twitter. I hope that you guys will come and hang with us on YouTube. But yeah, I think it's the only way that we're going to be able to get to this stream without it wanting to cut every single 5 minutes. Oh my gosh. You know, because the weird thing about it is, guys, I have been interneting this entire morning. I have been interneting so much. I have literally been interneting nonstop this entire time. And so for it to just have a problem now, I don't know. I try not to be an alarmist. And I checked, and you know, those jets are not there. Yes, Sailor Rob. Could you guys hear that? Okay. We're back. I think we're okay. I think it's fine. We're just going to soldier on through the internet issues. And thank you for becoming a member, Kathy, even in the face of absolutely ridiculous tech stuff. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So something that I've observed is that I'm like, I didn't think anybody was watching this little channel. That's why that's another reason I thought maybe going off of Twitter was not a bad idea, because, well, you know, I do think that they kind of look there. It's just so easy for them to just go and peek right there, right on Twitter. But on here, I'm like, I feel like they still can't see us. That's my hope. But I know I don't want it to be them either. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so that's the struggle currently. But 2 blackouts and someone got unsubscribed. Hi, Cryptic. Oh, Carmen Talia. Hey. Yeah. So apparently, yeah, the tech fund. Thank you guys. I'm like, Daisy, I promise I'm gonna get a better internet somehow. I'm like, guys, you know, I do all the stuff. I do all the stuff. And I'm just in my office. And the really weird thing about it is that my other lights I could see, they didn't go off. My lights that are right here in front of me, I have like a light thing. They didn't go off, but the Wi-Fi went off. That's weird. So we're struggling. Okay. Thank you guys for being patient. You guys are so kind. I'm like, but we're getting through this because it's too important. And this is too important of a topic for us to not. Now, I'm like, we're going to make it shorter, I guess. I don't know. We'll try to condense so that we don't anger the internet gods. That's okay. So I'm like, where were we? Okay, we were talking about what the potential reasons were why somebody might be going to Grand Lakes. Now, Grand Lakes, again, it has a casino and it has a reservation right there. Now, something that I've been looking into kind of a lot is what the relationship is between casinos and then also things like partners that they might have. So casinos, as you can imagine, that's a lucrative business. My first thought was, did I freeze again, Gigi? Oh no, please say no. What I thought to myself was, yeah, solar flares. Guys, you guys are so funny. Oh my gosh. Okay, yep, show must go on. My thought was, okay, potentially maybe they are going to get some casino money, right? That's a pretty lucrative spot. That is the kind of place where they are able to, generate a great deal of cash. Perhaps it might make sense for them to be doing that. Well, we know that they did not have a fundraiser at that time. We know that there were no events happening at that time. We do know that there was a casino. I would not describe it as it's not a Vegas one, right? But of course, hypothetically, there could be individuals who were maybe being maybe being courted to donate to Turning Point. Okay. That was kind of where my mind was. And I thought to myself, well, okay, maybe. But I thought that it was a pretty low likelihood. But then what I observed was this. I'm like, we're going back to ADSB, and I don't want to hear any guff about it, Mr. StreamYard or Mrs. StreamYard. Right? They do have a lot of cash, but I'm like, I don't want to be insulting at all. But what I'll say is that in the past, when there have been allegations about potential laundering of any kind by casinos that are located on reservations, generally speaking, that is something that is thought of being conducted through local and tribal councils. There have been those allegations in that area, yes. But generally speaking, because reservations, which is where this is located, have a very specific way of conducting themselves through like getting different laws passed and working with different individuals who may or may not help them with stuff. Generally speaking, that is not the sort of organization that you would think would be donating to Turning Point, even if it was an effort to do any kind of laundering. Generally, that's like a local or a tribal council. We know that they do have their problems. This is what occurred to me as I was thinking about it, because really, realistically, the main thing that's out there is the reservation. So as I continued to look and I looked, I went through my dates. I'm like, we are not pulling a king bee right now. We are doing okay. I'm like, I don't want to have to put a fiber in the Baron jar, you guys know. So let me add that to the stage. There we are. Perfect. All right. We can relax off of our little jets of choice here. Everything's fine. And I'm just going to hop over to August 9th of last year. And like we're doing it on the fly. Now that we know that they're not coming, don't come over here, Mr. Axel. Okay. Oh, please. That's insane. We just need to look at 582. We can just select the individual aircraft there, and then we turn it off of multiple, and then that'll pull off all of the Axel jets and all of the other Paradise ones as well. But so now we are looking at the history, and we're looking at August 9th, 2025. I'm like, let me make sure that we're formatted good. We are. Yay. Okay. So when we're looking at August 9th, this is 2025, I started to take a peek at the different legs of the trip. We see that they started off in Phoenix that day. They went over to LA. I'm like, we're going to close in on this one gently and carefully. As you guys recall, if you've been following along at home, we are always looking for that Van Nuys East stop. You're kidding. No, that can't be true. That can't be right. It didn't do that to me. I've decided it didn't. I feel like my face is still on here and fine, but I can't see it. Okay, good. All right, we're having a lot, like, so just so you guys know, in the background, it's going like boom, 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 and it like closes different windows and then is opening. And we're still gonna make it work. I'm like, maybe we're over the target a little bit. Okay, so, oh, great tip there, Winston. Thank you. Okay, now, as you guys know, when I'm looking in California, when we're looking at our LA area stops, we're looking specifically for the Van Nuys Airport, which is Van Nuys East. Now, this is a Long Beach area stop, so that's just so you guys at home, if you're looking for particular airports of interest, don't worry too much if you hop over there and you see that it did not go to Van Nuys East specifically. Then you should consider yourself like, okay, that's a low priority. That's how I'm screening it in my mind as I'm going through leg by leg. Now, on the next leg of the trip, this is where it started to get a little bit more interesting. On the next leg of the trip, I noticed this stop right here. This stop was in Durango, the Southern Ute Indian Reservation. Now, as you guys know, I am going stop by stop. I want to know how many minutes. I want to know if it was dark tower hours. I want to know if there was anything else going on. I want to know if there's a good excuse, because what I'm trying to find more than anything is good excuses for what they could be doing. Just like, okay, they're in Los Angeles, sure, but it's not, it's a different airport, it's a different area. Like we cannot count them all the same when we're thinking about our likelihood of something being up to mischief or if they're not, right? So that LA stop, low priority. However, this stop right here, this one caught my interest as well. I thought to myself, well, you know what I better do? I better go and I better take a look at this Durango. So hold, please. We are taking a peek here and I'm sharing my tab correctly. Am I? I am. Yay. Okay. So as I went ahead and took a look at this airport, I thought to myself, okay, this is Durango La Plata County Airport. When I started out taking a look at it, I thought, okay, well, that's not that strange. That looks just a little bit like it's just a county airport. There's a lot of county airports out there. This isn't the end of the world. This is kind of a, interesting, right? So I wanted to look closer. Now, again, like I said, a lot of what I love the most about ADSB is how close in we can get on the information. And I get the feeling that this is going to absolutely make our computer go nuts because I'm zooming in. It only acts like this when I'm on stream, of course, right? But it's still important for you guys to see. So when I'm taking a look at this Durango stop, I wanted to come in and I wanted to see exactly where it was that they stopped and for how long. Now, on this guy, I'm like, okay, where were they only for that many minutes? We can actually catch them on the ground and see exactly where it was that they stopped themselves. Now, if you take a look right here, we can see that they're going 25 knots here at 1544. Okay. And then we have a 30-minute gap right here until 1619. This is all time in universal time. Okay. But now they pick back up and they leave. But do you see how exact? Like this one, it's not as great like as of an airport example because we're not able to actually see which hangar it was. But we can look and see by the minute, by the speed, and by the exact location. Usually it goes right up to the hangar. They turned it off a little bit early on, and I'm like, that's out of regulations, but we'll let them do it. It's okay. But what we can see is we can see exactly where that was. Then we come right over here and we see AV Flight Durango. Oh, okay. All right. Well, there could be some other businesses. Let's keep looking. But AV Flight, for all of my folks that are following along, AV Flight is where they stop at, where the Egyptian jets stop at Minot. Now, that's not to say that they're up to anything. It's not to say that that necessarily makes them bad or up to mischief, but it's just a data point. Keep it in the back of your mind. When we are looking at the actual imagery of the airport itself, let's see here if we can get an actual little street view. Not as good as I want it to be. That's okay. We can at least hop in to on the ground and kind of see where it is that we're at and what it is that we're working with here. Now, this is a whole picture. There's no shot. We got to find a better one than that. Hold on, please. Hold, please. Hold, please. Here's 2018. And we can turn around. We can see this area. Okay. Now, when I'm thinking about the amount of actual security that they have, the reason that I like to look at these is get as close to the runway as possible is because that way we can start to see kind of well, what are we working with here? This looks like a medium security. There's AV Flight again, our little besties, just like they stop added Minot. But when we're thinking about security, that's a little chain link fence. Okay. I don't know exactly because again, it's challenging to be able to see where the actual end of the runway is, but it is relatively remote, right? That much I feel comfortable saying. I thought to myself, okay, so here we go. We have another stop. I'm like, are we within the dark tower hours? That's the next thing that I'm calculating. When I'm taking a look at the dark tower hours for that airport in particular, I had it highlighted. So therefore, I know it is one. They did not have an active tower at the time, but I'm struggling to see what their tower hours are. Part of what I do is I take a note and say, okay, if they fly in and out within this time frame, we're okay. But if they don't, why are you going there in the middle of the night, right? Or when they don't have an active air tower control. Strange, but data point. So I thought to myself, well, okay, I've got a number of these stops. I've got a number of these stops that are taking place on these Indian reservations. That's a little bit interesting because, again, the way that money is flowing in and out of these areas. And again, yes, right. So proof is not evidence. Evidence is not, something I've been thinking about a great deal is that there is a difference between leads, evidence, and proof. There really is. Now, I do know that our bestie, Mr. Smoke Boy, he loves to act as though individuals need to be able to prove it. I'm like, do you want an HD image of, pastor, like of Sailor Moon loading a crate onto it. It's like, what you know what I'm saying? Like, as citizens, we only have so much information available to us, unfortunately. And I hope more than anything that they are able to give us real and realistic information about things like their whereabouts. I know Rob said that he's been preaching 36 states, 3 trips to the greatest ally. Now, and oh, by the way, hello. Oh my gosh, I heard Sam Parker. Sam Parker was on with Stu the other day. He made this amazing point. He's like, positive evidence is eyewitness testimony. So who is Mitch now? Like, if positive evidence is eyewitness testimony, then who exactly is Mitch now? Because last time I checked, that is someone who, that's positive evidence. There it is right there. I was like, huh. So when I've been thinking about what it might be that they're doing at locations like this, at the hours that there's maybe, not a tower available, or just pulling in and just staying, like, what kind of preaching are you doing for 30 minutes here? What kind of preaching are you doing? Is that what the excuse is? Or are you acting as though there is a donor network that's nearby? So at that point, I thought to myself, well, I don't feel as though either of those is a good fit. I did notice that on both of these occasions, they had gone and either stayed for, my short window flights. Okay, that's preaching flights. Okay. My longer overnight flights. Well, okay. But why exactly are you going to these airfields that are located on these reservations? And as you guys know, it has taken me a really long time to see if I thought to myself, could we be seeing something uglier than this? Now, I have wanted to stay away from that topic, and that is on purpose because it is such a painful topic to think about. But if we were transporting something else or other individuals, right, then what might we see? I wasn't seeing flights to Bosnia. I wasn't seeing flights to the south of France. That's like a hot spot. Wasn't seeing flights to, Eastern Europe. It occurred to me that it's a really big deal when an American child has something happen like that horrible, awful thing, that horrible, awful potential thing. It becomes a really big deal. I mean, you get an alert. I went back, I checked all of the Amber alerts. Nothing was adding up. I thought to myself, well, that's good, because nobody wants it to have anything to do with that. And then I started to look a little bit more about when it is, just so you guys know, Amber alerts and things like that, that's all discretionary. It's up to the actual individual department to see if they want to issue that. And when an American child goes missing, right, there were no flights to Central and South America, right. So there's a lot of these locations where it was like, okay, they're not going to these places, and thank the Lord that they're not. But there's one place. I mean, unfortunately, we do know that with guys that are in foster homes, I'm like, I'm going to pass out. I don't like talking about this topic, guys. On Native American reservations, that is where the very high number of children have that happen. A very high number of children. I would argue that one of the highest numbers, the highest frequencies of that happening is off of reservations. Right. Amber alerts aren't something we can always count on, Martha, exactly, because unfortunately it's discretionary when they're issued, and sometimes they won't do it, and that's ugly. But as you guys know, in this country, even kids that are maybe like runaways or live in foster care, still a big deal. And just so you guys know, don't think I'm not, listen, we're working on the Houston angle. Like, don't think that we're not, we are. But just so you guys are aware of it, there is a huge number of children in Native American areas. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to go and check. So the first thing that I did was go ahead and take a look. I'm going to only be able to show this for a sec or two on live stream. This is, for example, in and around that area, that Grand Lakes area, on the actual reservation, that there are separate databases. I am specifically only looking, right, like this is just an image of folks that are unable to be located. And those are going to be folks that are young. I have it screened by young in that area, not been located. Then from there, I moved over to taking a look, and in that same time frame, I did in this one take it up to age 25 because I wanted to know, but I put it down to 0. There's 67 outstanding cases, and I also did screen by female. Anyway, I'm like, I don't want to talk about it that much. What I'll say is I found like 15 or 16 little guys that are currently within and that are located in those areas. Now, as you guys know, on reservations, unfortunately, that sort of thing happens a lot. It does. Happens a lot. From all ages. I'm saying a prayer right now that all of those children are fine and found and they're with a relative, or it's a custody battle. I always, think to myself, I'm like, please just let this be someone having an overreaction to a custody battle. I always wish for that. But I just looked for folks that were missing, that went missing within that time frame, that are around that age. Those are just the little girls. So I'm like, I want to tell you where they went after that. After that, one of them went to Houston. Another one went back to Scottsdale. But the reason it really gave me pause is because both of those were the days before a meetup with our Las Vegas Jets. So what has occurred to me is that potentially, I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know. I know you guys get it. I know you guys understand. And I know you guys know why I do not feel okay with speculating specifically. I don't feel okay with that just from a ethical perspective. From an ethical perspective, just saying, oh gosh, this is what's happening, and there's this, that just doesn't feel like the right thing to do to me. Because if we were trying to narrow down, I mean, you guys, the databases are public, but I'm just not going to sit there and say, gosh, this person fits a certain victim profile. I just really hope that if there's anyone who can actually look at this stuff from an actual investigative agency, I don't want this to be accurate. I want more than anything for someone to be able to tell me exactly what it is that they're doing in Grand Lakes or in Durango, or there's a couple other of these res trips. I don't like finding like a third category. That's what I'm kind of struggling with. I'm like, I don't want there to be an entire third category. I'm not okay with that. But we've got our fundraising trips, and then we've got our pastoral trips. And now I feel like we have our res trips, and it's incredibly heavy. Yeah, right. Thank you for saying that. And so I just want to give it the respect that it deserves. I think to just speculate totally wildly on if that's what's happening, or if there's an element of some sort of, but I've heard the comments about potentially this being a thing, and I had really been trying to resist even not entertaining it, but like, to resist factoring it into the real potentials because of the lack of trips to Bosnia or to Romania or to wherever, right? But it doesn't escape me that potentially is there. Right now, we're working on other locations. The hard part about somewhere like Houston, right? Exactly, Winston. Exactly. There is a real gap. There's a real gap that is unfortunately probably very much to do with a lack of resources. I'm like, I want to just be considerate. I'm not trying to say that the police on the res aren't, but those folks that happens to, they are someone's children. They are our brothers and sisters in the eyes of God. So I don't want to be cavalier about it, if that makes sense. So yes, we've checked Oklahoma. We are checking, and that first list that I was showing you guys, that was Oklahoma. That was just Oklahoma. So the second list, where there was like 67 in the age and the time frame, that was Oklahoma and also that part of Colorado. The reason that I wanted to share it with you guys, and that I really do think it's important, is that realistically, keeping that sort of thing in the back of our mind as a potential. And I want you guys also to know that when I'm investigating this sort of thing, I promise I'm taking it seriously. Really am being ethical about it and not just jumping the gun. It's important. And also really being aware. But when we're, I always find that pattern recognition is something that I get from having a frame of reference for something. So if I am aware, because I know that a lot of you guys research at home along with me, right? As you guys are looking into flights and whatnot, running across a number of res trips is something that we have to think about, especially given that I was praying that it was just standard corruption. I was like, maybe they just want to, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like maybe it's just standard corruption, not that the folks in Grand Lakes are bad or anything like that, but maybe they just wanted a little piece of the turning point pie, and that's not the fit, it's just not the fit that I think. So if anyone is able to find a late July event I'll take anywhere. I'll take anywhere in the Grand Lakes area of last year. And yes, I do not want to make any kind of allegation. I really don't believe in making an allegation, especially given I'm like, these guys are nonsense enough without us even speculating, right? Hey, I don't give a damn. Hello. And I'm sorry. I want to be like, all like, happy-go-lucky. I love being here with you guys. I love talking about this stuff. I love researching. I'm like, guys, we have a way more fun research topic that we're talking about too. It's just that, right, I don't want us to put blinders on when there's real bad stuff out there that happens, but I refuse to speculate about children without, I can't, it doesn't sit right with my soul to be like, yeah, they're probably doing this, but what I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged and brought to your guys' attention was that these res trips are weird. I don't like it. And I think they need further investigation. So I wanted you guys to have that frame of reference so that as you guys are continuing and as we're all continuing to unpack all of this stuff, then we can keep it in mind. I think that's the right thing to do too. And if anyone knows, I'm like, gosh, can someone tell me a new casino is opening in Grand Lakes? Like, someone tell me that, or someone tell me in Durango. I'm like, I hope it's just that. I really hope it's just that. I honestly hope it's just, can't even show them on the stream. I'm like, gosh, is that all? Like, just a little just a little AK, like no big deal. Like, yeah, that's what I'm honestly hoping. I'd so much rather it be that. You guys know what I mean, right? So, I'm like, oh, yeah, it hurts my heart really bad. But I agree. We have to pay attention to this sort of thing and we can't just ignore it. Can't just ignore it. So I'm like, so the reason it's taking an eternity, guys, is because I literally want to go every single location by every single location. I want to see the minutes. I want to check it against the dark tower hours. I'm like, wish I had maybe I do. Oh yeah, a national wildlife refuge. Like, come on, where are you going to a national wildlife refuge? You guys are so weird. Turning point, like, just explain to us where you're going. Here's a good example of one. So, like for example, what I do is I will take a list and I will say, okay, this in particular, this group of flights, this looks strange. Oh gosh, we have one that's a hit because, we know that they were there for that 25 to 35 minute span. We know that they were there during hours when there's no tower. We know that it was overnight. We know that I'm not even like, I low prioritize ones that are anywhere that's, that would even kind of make sense, if that makes sense. Like, it's like if we're just talking about, New York City, if it's a New York City area airport and they fly in at 9 p.m., okay, like I'm like, okay, I'll give it a okay. But that's not as high of a priority as flying into some really obscure little out of the way airfield that you just don't have any business going to. Why are you going there? What pasturing are you doing at 10 p.m. on like a Wednesday? So yeah, I go location by location. I'm like, pinks are bad. The reason that I had wanted to, the reason the thumbnail looks like the thumbnail, I'm like, I don't know if you guys caught it. The reason the thumbnail looks like the thumbnail is because, as you guys know, we've kind of started to kind of feel like we can maybe see what we're seeing here. That's where I'm at with it. The next place that we're heading is overseas. Yay! Because there seems to be a lot that's happening internationally. And so that's kind of our next stop. So I am working on something with a lead that we got. So, hey, Sheree. Hi. Yes. So let me see here. For folks that are asking about the tracker. Yes. Hi, sweet swine. ADSB. ADSBExchange.com. That's my favorite one. I know that some people really do love FlightRadar and FlightAware. I like those ones. Okay, they're much more user-friendly. Thing one, they are much more user-friendly. What I love the most about ADSB is, like you guys saw, like I can actually look at the specific location. I can tell, like, oh my gosh, I'm like, here, let's talk about something a little bit happier for a second, because I know that was really tough. To talk about. And as you guys know, I'm like, I just want to be so careful. Okay. So I'm like, oh my gosh, please do not make this be annoying right now. Hold, please. So one of the things that I love about our darling, I probably don't have it on the stage, do I? Nope, don't. Okay, there it is. Okay. So one of the things that I love about ADSB Exchange, for example, is that this is us looking at one of our Paradise aircraft. This is one of our Paradise aircraft. And when I look on FlightRadar and FlightAware, it'll tell me that it's going to the Scottsdale airport, right? But when it tells me Scottsdale airport, that's good information. But sometimes when it goes to Scottsdale airport, it goes to Scottsdale airport west, right? So this is an example of it being at Scottsdale airport west. This side, see how I can see that it's on, well, I don't know if they're calling it north, but it is actually west. So see how I can see what building it is that it pulls up to? Sometimes, you guys want to hear a weird one? This is just a weird little notable, piece of information. Sometimes, guys, it pulls over right here, B10. I think it's B10. I want to say it's B10. And that's a very specific other hangar. Now, why would it go sometimes over here to the Ross Scott Aviation? Why would it sometimes go to Ross Scott Aviation and other times, which is, where it is, where you guys are seeing it, and then other times it goes to the other side? Do you guys have any idea what the actual location is that's right there? You guys, The actual Alcor, sorry about that. The actual Alcor, as in Alcor, is literally located right there. It is the actual Alcor. You guys know what I'm talking about. The Cryogenics place. Hold on, let me show you. It's like scary. Because I know that we had looked at the Cryogenics. I'm like, I wonder if I can pull it up so that you guys can see how weird it is. And I don't know which day the last time it was on that side, but I would say in 2025, it was probably 30 to 35% of the time it would go to the other side, which is right by Alcor. And let me pull it up for you guys. Let's go over here. Let's find Alcor Scottsdale. Okay, so okay, here's the airfield. I'm like, oh, you guys can see it, right? Let me just double check that I'm not like, hold please. Let me take off the little, we can move around there in a second if you guys want to, but see how, okay. So this is the Scottsdale Airport, right? And so the location that they're going to on this side, this is the Ross. It's like a affiliate of whatever, of Signature and da-da-da. There's a lot to, whatever, the way that they structure their corporations, blah, blah, blah. But that is literally where the life extension place is. It's right there. It's not even walking distance. It's within spitting distance. Isn't that kind of weird? That's kind of weird, right? Anyway, so it was just something that, I keep in the back of my mind, but it's about 35% of the time throughout 2025 that they would go on that side. So it's like, I'm tracking on, gosh, am I able to look on this side, actually see, and that's the thing that for me, that's the reason why I love using ADSB Exchange instead of using FlightRadar, because I want to know, are you going to the Alcor side? Are you going to the Ross Scott side? You know what I'm saying? Like the Ross Scottsdale side, which one? And if so, how many minutes? And which building, which hangar are you pulling up to? And then what we're doing is we go through and we take a look and we see if there are private hangars. And then at that point, if there are private hangars, then we see and we're working on finding who those contracts belong to and which one. Hey, Kijo, I love you too. Thank you guys for being here with me. Hey, sweet sign. You are the best. Thank you for the super chat, Tom. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to look in those. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yes. Thank you, little sister. I'm going to want to do all of those fun things. Hello, little sister. Daughter lives in Grove, Oklahoma, and that airport is so small. It doesn't have a tower or anything. Exactly. So what were you doing? Were you preaching? Were you fundraising? What were you doing? Were you gambling? I mean, even if it was gambling, I'm like, that's not that bad, right? Like that wouldn't even be, I guess, that bad. I guess. I know you're a Christian organization, ostensibly. What were you doing? I don't like it. So, yeah, there's and so I like to go every single stop, go and look. How many minutes? What exact hangar? Who owns that hangar? How do you go about running it? Is it a corporate rental? Is it the kind of place? Because that's really, in my opinion, the best way for us to really look and see where exactly these people were going. Because we are hypothesizing. I mean, again, like I said, it's not an allegation of wrongdoing. It is simply not an allegation. Hi, Dom. Hey, I'm so glad. I love Dom. Everyone say hello to Dom. I'm like, you guys, we're in such fine company. And we've got Mad Max, as in Chris from Chris and Allie. We're in fine researcher company. This is like my dream. Oh my gosh, get all of us in a room for one afternoon. I guarantee we'd have this thing. That's really how I feel. So, but what I was saying was, as I go location by location, I want to see exactly. Then I want to follow it up, run it down, know exactly, because how else am I supposed to know what they were doing? Especially given that for all of those 36 states and 3 trips to the Ally, Pastor Rob, it's not like he's posting a schedule. It's not like there's a schedule that this man is posting, and then we're able to sit there and be like, oh yeah, oh yeah, of course. Like if it was, think about how they put out the tour information for this new tour. Poor Charlie. Breaks my heart. You know how they put out this information for this tour, this like C list, D list. Riley Gaines, please. So they put out this list, and normally when folks go on a tour, if they're fundraising, preaching, talking to people, stuff that Charlie actually was doing, they put out a tour, they put out a schedule. You would be able to go and see, oh, okay, so Pastor Rob said he was preaching in McCook, Nebraska. Okay, for 35 minutes at 1 a.m. or whatever. Sure. Well, gosh, you know what? Look, there he is. He's on the church flyer. There it is. There's a video of him preaching. Oh, there, that's what's happening. Okay, all right. That's a good excuse. Okay, all right, cool. That's all good. No, like there's none of that. And so I'm like, guys, you're not even trying. That's the part that bothers me. So even if he wanted to go and get on that silly little Central Tennessee, no offense to that church, but on that little podcast, just to make sure that he could go on there and let us know that's all I was doing, guys, just preaching. Make me mad. I get really mad when I think about people using religion to cover their misdeeds. I don't like that. But I will show you guys really quick. One that I've been looking at a lot is this Ross Aviation. I'll show you guys. So normally where it is that they park, I think it's right at the end of this one, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's right at the end of this one. Let me try. Okay, here it is. Yeah. So here is the Scottsdale Airport. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me I have to like click back, make sure you guys can see it. Can you guys see it? Okay. Okay. So this is, part of what I've been doing is I like to look and see if they want to go to the Atlantic, which is, it's a major aircraft hangar spot, right? And so where's Ross? Is it down the street a little bit? I think it might be. And then I go and I say, oh, okay, there's an Atlantic there. And then I come over here and I'm like, is there also another place that's an affiliate of them? I think that this one, so technically this one is classified as an Atlantic, but it might currently be owned and operated by Ross Aviation. So yeah, like I said, guys, it's a lot to go through spot by spot. But this is, so when you think about a normal, like this is like normal. If someone is fundraising, if someone is actually fundraising, this would be a normal place for them to stop, right? Like that's like, I'm like, okay, cool. But obviously we're talking about Scottsdale, so they were just there anyway. That makes sense. I'm like, okay, no biggie. This isn't the Alcor. You guys want to go see Alcor? I can show you the outside of it. Let's see if it's weird. I'm like, well, we have to see if it's weird now. Well, we can look at it and just be snoopy. Like I said, you guys, I love the digital stakeout like none other. So then I just want to see, I'm like, oh, what does it look like? Actually, show me. Is this it? I think this is it. That looks right. Are we facing the right direction? Which way are we facing? Hold on. Hold, please. Do. Yep, wrong way. There it is. So this one? Yeah, so that's me being incredibly nosy. There's the outside of Alcor. So if C7895 East Acoma, there it is. So if they were going to Alcor, then this is, oh, there it is. Look at that. Boom. So when I'm on the digital stakeout, that's what we're doing, go and check that. Oh, Allie's here too. Oh my gosh, you guys. It's a research party. Bye. That's so fun. I love that. Allie, we are on the digital stakeout right now. Oh my gosh, she's probably so annoyed with me. Guys, stop. Listen. Allie is such a great researcher and she's done a ton of work on so many different aspects of the case. So I'm like, yes, everybody needs to go and immediately, please do yourselves a favor, guys. If you like the stuff that we're doing over here, please do yourself a favor. Go and follow our darling Princess Queen Angel herself, Miss Daisy. She is on Twitter. She's obviously Baron's right-hand gal. She's on Twitter, though. She is incredible, and she also slaps the bad guys in real time on the timeline. She's awesome. She's a meme lord, too. And we have our lovely, lovely, gorgeous Miss I Don't Give a Damn. I've heard wonderful things about her, and I know that she is whip smart. Then we have our tag team, dream team, Allie and Chris from Allie Top Files. You guys know, oh my gosh, I'm just like, I call her, Allie, here's what happened. Please, someone help me, please. So if you guys, and like, if you're not following Allie Top Files, that's the place to be because that's where all the information is. Hello. So, I call her because I'm watching Stu and I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw this comment go by. Do you think it means anything? Do you think we need to go and take a look at anything? And immediately I was like, we need to go down the rabbit hole. Yes, Allie, merch suggestion is you're done. And by the way, by the time she and I were done chatting, she was definitely trying to say that to me because I was driving her nuts. But we have to know, okay, especially because there's links to international players. We were like looking at websites in Russian and in Ukrainian and in Georgian and in all kinds of stuff. So, but if you're going to run down like every single lead in an investigation like this, it takes everybody, all hands on deck. And this is an all hands on. Yep. See, there it is. Look at that one time. Thank you. She's like, I'm going to go. I was like, you're right. And I should have been prepping for my thing here. But when a lead comes, hey, listen, you get a hot lead, you got to chase it down. That data point is extremely important, but I drove that poor girl absolutely nuts. I'm sorry for that. But thank you for helping me run it down, and we'll still be working on it. I am going to be doing, I'm so lucky, we get to do a live stream with Allie tomorrow, and we are going to be joined by Miss Rio. You guys know we love her, Rio Gates, and the amazing, wonderful ADN. You guys know ADN? ADN 1776, who is just, oh gosh, she is so smart and she is so on top of things and she's just brilliant. And she's the gal who had the very specific individual who was researching this possible EMP theory. And we're going to talk about drones. We're going to talk about our thoughts about drones because we still, I think there's a lot of room for everybody to look at different parts of the case and to see what we think is most likely and less likely, and everybody is working on different pieces of it, but that's the important thing. But I do love like a regular little meeting of the minds. Yes, data point, baby J. So I think it's going to be really great and really helpful. I love checking in with them and being like, hey, where are we at? Because oh my gosh, everybody comes up with new different little pieces of information. And to me, I'm like, I want to hear it. Oh my gosh, poor Allie today. Oh, poor Allie. I was like, well, so wait, you're telling me that it went to California on this day and it went to Utah on this day and Salt Lake City. And what day was that? And she's like, we literally had this conversation. I'm like, my brain is broken. Just tell me, please. Cause she's got the master list. So that's how I got my year done for the day. But yeah. And I do think that it's compelling, this potential link to who knows what. I'm like, who knows, guys? That's really the deal. Who knows? I can't necessarily say. I do think that there's a lot. Yes, Tyler Boyer having this orphanage. What's up with that? Why do all of these people have something to do with an orphanage? Why? Yes, small airports near Coachella. Yes, there are small airports near. Hold on, let me trying to click stuff. There are small airports near Coachella that these guys go to. Yes, they do. They go there all the time. In fact, I'm like, do I have any on this page? No, not on this page. What is it, Austin Bergstrom? I'm like, guys, I can't. Yes, I agree. Yes, thank you, Kijo. As usual, correct, my friend. I can't exactly. VM. Okay, so another thing that we're working on in the background is we're developing our different pilot profiles because different pilots will fly their plane different ways, right? So I have a profile that's called Profile V. Like there's a little hint that I don't think that he himself will be able to pick up on because it's high IQ around here, guys. We have a way that one person flies a plane, just one. And it's a Profile V flight. One of those flights went to St. Martin in the Caribbean. See what I'm saying? So that's all the stuff that I'm working on developing. That's another reason why I really thought that it was great. The more that I can hear, I'm like, I need to keep working on it, but the more that I can hear about where our bestie, him right there, where he was going, what he was up to, whether he was getting Jimmy barbecue or not, the better. Because at that point, then I can kind of say, okay, those make sense. Gosh, 35 minutes and an overnight from, let's see, you went from Phoenix to Las Vegas Quail to a private hangar that's there next to the Sands to a private box hangar, where you went for 45 minutes. And then you went from there to the Caribbean for 35 minutes in the middle of rainy season. And then you went to Fort Lauderdale. Why would you go to St. Martin in the middle of the night in the rain in the hurricane season for 35 minutes before you're going to St. Lauderdale? It's not like you're making a stop. It'd be one thing if you went on to Colombia or I don't know, somewhere in the South America. No, you went all the way down to St. Martin from Vegas Vegas to St. Martin, like, okay, maybe for a fancy person, sure. But you only went for 35 minutes overnight in the rain? I'm checking the weather too. Whenever they go somewhere that's a little unusual and is a very big weather place, like, and I'll tell you the truth, guys. In Arizona, I'm like, well, it's either day or night, right? Doesn't really impact flying conditions. But when they're going to Miami and stuff, I'm like, okay. But when they go to this little out of the way Florida beach, Northwest Florida Beaches Airport, I'm like, it was like a hurricane that day, right? Or if you're going to whatchamacallit, oh my gosh, whatchamacallit, St. Martin in the Caribbean, or the Tri-County Airport. And I'm like, it was a hurricane that day. So that's what we're going through day by day, flight by flight. And yes, it does take a very long time. Sorry. But I do want to make sure that I have every piece of information, especially before they go and try to hide it. They can hide it on FlightRadar and FlightAware too. They can like cloak the actual jet itself and they'll pull it off. And so the thing is, because ADSB is still technically open source, they can't hide. I'm like, so we're going to use it while we can. So I'm like, yeah, I hope that wasn't too stressful of a conversation. I just wanted to make sure that I did discuss it with you guys because we're tracking it and it's being taken very seriously. And as time goes on, things will become more and less likely. For me, I don't want to put it in. I don't want to put it into my working theory. That's the truth. But we will if it has to. Just wanted you guys to know that it's enough of a concern that it kept me up all night long. I'm like, I hope it's just, well, couldn't it just be something cool? What if they were taking over like something cool? Maybe just cash. That's not illegal. Maybe just cash. That would be nice. That would be my ideal one. I'm like, maybe it's just standard money laundering. Or if it was like, how do I say the word? Substances. Maybe it's just substances. It's not good. But the alternatives, guys, are so, And yes, I do. Hold on a second. Look at this. Thank you, Heather. Anna calls VM our bestie. Yes, we are calling him our bestie. The fewer things we can do to trigger the sensors. Also, I'm like, please don't come over here. Don't look at me. Don't look this way. You are our best friend. Don't worry. Please. I don't even want to think about him. I don't even want to think about his I'm like, Colorado, what are you even thinking? What are you guys even thinking? Like, what are you doing? Putting that person in a position of power? He's dangerous. That's my opinion. So, I want to get into supers. And then I'm going to go and harass Allie again. I can't wait. Thank you guys for hanging with me, by the way. Even though we went through the tech battle, we somehow made it. I'm so thrilled. And I appreciate you guys very much. We'll be back, like I said, tomorrow. I'm like, we'll keep chatting, but I don't ever want to like hold you guys for longer than we need to. If you have other stuff to do, of course. But we'll keep chatting and stuff, but I don't want to do like, new information because it's not the right thing to do. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, look at this. Allie. In a spiritual sense, potatoes symbolize grounding, resilience, humility, and quiet strength because they grow hidden beneath the earth. Isn't that so perfect? I love that. Oh my gosh, I love that. That's so perfect for our TSP. Oh my gosh, this is so wonderful. Look at this. Oh my gosh, Allie. Potatoes, they represent deep roots, survival through hard times, and a sacred connection to the earth and nourishment. That's amazing, Allie. Thank you for telling me. Thank you for telling all of us. Yep, because Team Small Potatoes, guys. That's perfect, right? I don't even know how we come up with that. That's just something I call people that are just, not like the major players, but they're just little small potatoes. So here we are. And that's us. And that's perfect. I love that. Good and resilient. You guys hung with me through 2 Wi-Fi outages. So talk about resilient, So we are Team Small Potatoes. Potato gang. I love you guys. Yes. So Paul, yes, absolutely. Thank you for making this comment. Yes, It is a major problem, and it is really underlooked. It is hugely underlooked, and it's heartbreaking. And I don't like that at all. And it really, really upsets me. And yeah, I don't want us to ignore it, and especially given that, I mean, I don't even care if it has to do with Turning Point or not. I care that this is happening. 67 names. I don't even know what to think. Yeah, it's heartbreaking. I don't like it at all. I don't like it one bit. And so please say a prayer to every single person whose name was on that list. Please keep them in your hearts and keep them in your thoughts. And I really pray that that's not the situation at all. Oh, I'm getting an important alerts. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to run through super chats in just a second. I wanted to make sure that I chat with everybody first. And answer questions. As you guys know, I'm always happy to answer any questions that anybody has. To me, I always think that it's really important. Do we have the girly pops going soon? Okay. Oh, something must be super important because I'm getting an alert and I'm like, oh my gosh, what if my computer crashed again? Anytime that's happening. Am I frozen again? No. You guys know. Oh, I'll get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'll get there. Thank you. So the next place that we're going, like I said, is we are going to be talking to Allie and to Rio about kind of some updates that we have. Then from there, we need to keep looking at the ways that this organization seems to be operating. I don't know if you guys watched Barron last night, but he did make a really specific point to look at all of the oddities, at all of the strange oddities that seem to be taking place during the case that were not directly linked to what happened on September 10th. Now, I do think that they are related. I mean, that's what he was saying too. It's like they're related, clearly, right? There's a relation there. But all of those strange situations that took place and that we saw in the moment, we want to make sure that we are tracking along with all of them. I know that for myself anyway, the drones and the aircraft, like Hades, the axles, I think that they're relevant for me. I'm keeping them in my working theory personally, because although I don't know for sure if they are necessarily going to be part of it, right? We don't know. But boy, it sure is interesting, the idea that our own military can call them training flights and then just fly around over U.S. airspace, over American citizens. Since when? They're calling them, so just so everybody knows, I'm like, can I give some real opinion here? This is a real opinionated statement, but it's my earnest opinion. I do not believe that they needed to train for that long on those flights. I don't think that they needed to. See, they have been training in these training flights for over a year, well over a year now. Now, we have been in a hot conflict for the past how long? How long have we been in this hot conflict, right? For 6 months, 5 months, 5 months, 6 months? You didn't want to deploy those assets over there? We fly assets like that. We fly assets like that to conflict zones, but we also fly them to additional locations, right? You could be flying that over Alaska. Wouldn't that be a little bit of a smarter place to practice touch and goes, where there's wide open spaces and there's just a lot fewer people? You could be actually deploying those assets, given that we literally lost several aircraft during this hot conflict in the past few months. So you're still doing that much training? Are you sure you're not just watching Americans? Are you sure? Because if you call them training flights, you can do them here. And by the way, you're not doing them over I don't know, Nevada test and training. You're not doing them over, like I said, in Anchorage. You're not doing them out over the ocean. That's a normal place to do. You're not doing them at some remote location. You're not going to Diego Garcia so that you can be ready to be forward deployed. You're not going and testing it out. I don't know, maybe where it would be useful, having a standoff aircraft, as in like you could be flying over, I don't know, controlled, normal parts of Afghanistan. You could be flying over Turkey. You could be flying over the Med. You could be flying over a lot of different places and actually still be able to get information, the same information that you're getting here over it, to concern the actual conflict that we're in the middle of. But instead, you want to fly them over Tennessee. You want to fly them over Candace Owens and Baron Coleman's house. You want to fly them over Provo. You want to fly them over UVU. You want to fly them over, let's see, you guys did go to, I found one. I was like, there was another, I've been looking at the aviation incidents and seeing like, are they actually anywhere near those? You want to do that. Are you sure you're not using them on Americans? Are you sure? Because if you call them actual training flights, then you can do them here. And then nobody can say anything. We'll call it a touch and go. We'll call that a go around. No, you're flying them over Americans to look at us. That's what I think. It's genuinely what I think. So to me, I'm like, it's not okay. I'm not okay with that. This is not, the feeling that I really get. I totally agree, Runner Doc. The feeling that I truly, truly get. Yeah, the day of the memorial. Oh gosh, do we have to look? You're right, Heather. We do. Well, I do think that I'm like, this is pure spec. I think that everything got messed up on that day for their plans for that day. I don't think that they were, able to use them that day like they planned to. But yes, so many tech aspects. And it occurs to me, guys, that it is very, very possible. It is very, very possible that what they were doing was gathering information in Provo on that day. The kind of information that it would be very, very hard for a defense contractor to come by. And yet. So I'm like, now we'll go over to Super Chats. I just love hanging with you guys. And thank you so much for being supportive of the program. It means everything to me, you guys. And it lets me feel like I can do this, so you guys just being here. And if you haven't had a chance to hit like, that means so much to me. I appreciate it so, so, so much. And thank you guys for fighting through thick and thin. I'm like, I don't care. I'll be on my phone. I'll be, I'll call into this program because we have to talk about this stuff. It's too important. They can't keep getting away with this. That's my real feeling. Time for supers. Okay. Hi, QGU. Hi, my favorite. Eek, Anna, you're just the energy I need to finish digging through these charts. What kind of charts are you digging through? I'm so excited. Thank you guys. I love being part of a research community because then it's like I know that I'm not the only one on the digital stake. I know that you guys care about this stuff like I do. So yes, we will keep going. How prescient of you to put that. You're psychic a little bit. And yes, Dill Dan is boots on the ground. You guys, like I said, another shout out to Dilly because wow. He has the Penguich receipt. He has the Penguich receipt. And if he has the Penguich receipt, that means that the texts aren't valid. It means that he wasn't back in. If he was in Penguich, he wasn't in Orem. Think about what that means, guys. So everyone say a prayer for Dilly. Oh, I'm so glad that I just keep seeing brave Americans stand up. Americans and other too. Think of Andy. Oh my gosh, he's in Europe and he's over here working his tail off to try to make sure that we solve this thing. So brave people who care. And it's a beautiful thing. So I hope that your research goes amazing. And thank you, QGU. Love ya. Thank you so much for the jewel. Seriously, is it Cyrus? Sirius. It's Sirius, like Sirius XM, right? I don't know. I always want to call that Sirius. Daisy, shout out to my queen. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Lord, please bring Daisy her Lexus. She deserves it. She deserves everything. Thank you, honey. I love you. Citizen Pendejo, thank you so much. Okay. Cabo Panachute, Charlie. Follow the Lori Cardoza Moore lead I suggested. It'll crush all of TPUSA's phony narratives. Share your findings with Stu. Okay. Oh, Lori. Oh, and Cardoza. Oh, okay. I know about this. This is the pastor, right? This is the pastor that you're talking about with Greg Laurie. Didn't they announce that new? They announced that new tour quite literally on the day before. The day before. I think I'm right about that. I'm going to be checking my email. Citizen Pendejo. Fantastic name, by the way. Yes, we do make notes. And I absolutely, just so you guys know, whenever I, find new information, I always share it up with Stu right away. He's my co-investigator, my partner in crime, partner in non-crime. I don't know, whatever you can call it. Thank you, Critter. Thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you so much. And thank you for bringing people on to the team. Thank you, Critter. You are so wonderful. You are so, so wonderful and kind. Thank you. Kathy, you're on TSP. Yay! Why was it you were on TSP in my entire, in my mind? Oh my gosh. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hi, Shades. Shades at 15. One of our aviators is in the house, guys. We love this. It's awesome. Okay, I think that Terrell F was not doing a selfie. He was continuing the live stream. That's a heck of an idea. I need to meditate on this. Continuing the live stream. He was, because he did the selfie video. Let's think about this for a second. He does the selfie video, right? It's on him for a second. We turned it around, didn't he? I always thought that was so weird. If you're doing first of all, selfie video, what is wrong with you, Terrell? What are you doing? Okay. And then, in addition to that, you're right. He turned it around and he filmed the car. What's that about? What is that about? And then the stream broadcast to all the actors. And that's how everybody knew. I will be checking your email. Thank you very much. So that's fascinating as an idea, because him saying, oh, he's gone, right? And then Victor knows right away. Beebs knows right away. Okay. Honestly, I don't know. Gosh, that's a heck of an idea. I'm going to read that email. Thank you. Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Ashley Brook. I appreciate you so much. You're right. I should stay hydrated. I know I'm over here sweating because, oh my gosh, guys, there's so much happening. And I get really when I think about all the awful stuff. But then I get excited when I think about the good stuff, which is more people are aware of all this crazy nonsense and working on trying to solve this thing. And it does feel to me genuinely as though we're maybe getting somewhere a little bit. You should have heard me and Allie trying to decide what Candace is doing in Russia. We were over there hypothesizing, she's purchasing the car. Oh my gosh. But thank you very much. I hope more than anything, Miss Benign Gigi, I hope more than anything that we're discovering here is helpful. That's really my hope. It really is. And I truly believe it's going to take all of us. And we're not going to stop until it's done. We're not. No matter where it goes, that's where we're going. So, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joanne. I appreciate you. Matt, hi. Okay. It must be happening if your investigatory intuition is taking you down this path. I very much appreciate you. Thank you so much for saying that, Matt. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I really hear your feedback and I really like it. Usually you have very intuitive and wise and very relevant things to say. Yeah. I wasn't ready mentally to take it there for a long time. I think part of me was just resisting a little bit, just wanted to be no, I can't be, that can't be. Yeah, it hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't know. Yeah. And so it is a theory that I do think needs more exploration. But that feeling when you have the hair on the back of your neck stand up a little bit. That's what happened. So, yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, guys, more than anything. I don't give a damn. Hello, Henny. And thank you for the super chat. The casinos with Trump and the 80s execs that were lost in the Hilo. I'm taking notes, Don. The casinos with Trump and the 80s exec that were lost in the Hilo accident are interesting as well. Lots of the roads lead to Vegas. Yes, couldn't agree more. And the island orbit. Okay. Yes, I am taking notes. Yes. Because I like to follow up on stuff. You guys know how I am. And I'm like, when was it? I'll be looking at that. And Trump used Alan Ace, CEO of Bear Stearns. I'm like, duh. Bear Stearns. We know. We kind of, it's like, you know what I feel like? And thank you, by the way, Dom. This is an excellent point. Yes, the Asia Casino. Dom, can we do like a group chat or something soon? Because wow, what a great point. So the Asia casinos are something I've been looking at a long time for our Mima, since she's been trying to work on moving her organization overseas, and she's been really focused on Singapore. I do think that there's something going on with Korea as well, so I want to, and Japan too. So I'm like, exactly, the Asia casinos. And then you said, Alex. Yes, I do like to make notes. Sorry, it helps me think and it helps me organize. And then I can check things off. That's how how else are we going to do it? Thank you, Dom. And yes, it is fascinating. And yes, I do think that aviation incidents sometimes are particularly relevant given the nature of the kind of people that we're talking about here. Think about the ways that they, deal with each other. Sometimes there's a relationship there. So thank you. Hello, La Conquistadora. A goat trophy. I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for supporting the program. I really appreciate you so much. So much. Hello, Celestial Bridge. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. You're awesome. Is there any way to compare Iran-Contra flights to what you found here? I know it was in the 80s. There has to be some info out there. Yes, there is. Now, as far as, because I've been looking into Iran-Contra. I've been looking into it for like a little while before this. But yes, so the ways that Iran-Contra was run, there is information out there. And the hard part is that during that time period, it was just they weren't tracking as well. You know what I mean? So it's like it's really hard to get like really specific data on, what specific airport somebody went to and like what hangar that they went to within that airport. That being said, a lot of what I've been doing is using the actual airports. And that for me was a pretty good starting point for how I worked on developing my list of my naughty list. I'm like, call it my naughty list. That's what I kind of call it. Turning point for some reason just happens to be visiting 17 of the top 20 airfields associated with weapons in this country. And several of those, I want to say like 5 or 6, are all related to Iran-Contra. So Miami Opelika, Fort Lauderdale Executive, it's like, a lot of them in particular in the Southeast. So yes, and that to me has been a really helpful starting point, because what I have found is that criminals, they got to get their ideas from somewhere. These people are vicious, but they don't seem particularly creative. So they're like, oh yeah, JE's favorite airport, let's just go there. Like, okay, but I mean, when it's a recent thing, I'm like, okay, I kind of understand, because realistically, if you know that an airport is already associated with has this persistent issue, then you know that there probably are some security failings. You're kidding. Is it going to stop? Is it going to crash again? Oh, you're joking. If I just don't move, is it going to bring me back? Guys, we are the struggle. I'm like, did I fly too close to the sun? I may have flown too close to the sun, gang. I am not going to move. I'm sitting still until this comes back. Oh my gosh, you guys, why does it get so mad at me whenever I talk about... I'm talking about important stuff here, you know? And so it's making me frustrated. I'm like, I'm just going to close my other tabs and then maybe that will... Okay, I'm here. I'm trying. You're kidding. Okay. Okay, cross your fingers for us, guys. Okay, if you guys can hear me, I hope so. Oh my gosh. This thing is going to be the life of me. Are we back? I think we're back. Trying to wrap it up. Oh. Every time I talk about this stuff, why does this happen? Like, guys, I internet all day, every day. I've been internet my whole life, and it's only when I talk about this stuff. Isn't that just the funniest thing? Ah, you guys, I'm going to go crazy. I'm so annoyed. Okay, everything's plugged in. Everything's fine. Now the screen is like moving a million miles an hour. I just am like, I'm just going to sit here until it stops doing that. Okay. Because for some reason, whenever I manage to stop StreamYard thing, or is it just me? Myself off of this. Come on, computer. You guys, it's like, it would be funny. It's not that funny. It feels bad. I internet all day. I internet all day long, and then for some reason, when I'm talking about important things, for some reason, the internet wants to forsake me. BB, leave me alone. Can you guys hear me? There's no way. There's no way. Oh my gosh, you guys should see what my computer screen looks like. It's the strangest. Do you know what I'm talking about when your screen minimizes and then it gets big? It's doing it over and over. This looks great. Like on my end, it looks crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. But I started the app. Okay. App, you've been started. Why does it look so weird? Am I back? Hold on. We're getting a call here. I don't even know. Hello? Hello?
Hey, are you okay?
I am okay. Am I back?
Let me just check. I'm gonna go zip over to YouTube right now.
Hello.
It is like I have not seen anything.
It's like it flashes on, it flashes on. My computer has never done this before.
Oh, apparently everybody can hear you and they're hearing us chit chat.
Oh, everyone say hello to Mad Max. Mom and Dad were worried, so they called me. Wait, can they hear me? They can hear me, but they can't see me?
Yes, so we can totally hear you. You sound beautiful. We just cannot see you. So maybe double check your cable connection to your
Yes, you know, we've done I'm like, see guys, see, they were worried about me. It's such a nice community. Mom and Dad were worried, so they called. Okay, so my computer, it's just what it's doing is it just keeps saying initializing video. I'm glad they can hear me again. That was weird for a minute. And it's strobing. So that's a new thing. I'm sorry, guys. Oh my gosh, look at your guys' patience. Thank you so much.
There you go.
Okay, wait, I'm going to say totally still. See, I'm not pressing anything. It's just, yeah, that's weird, right? Someone said we're getting scrambled. Just so everyone knows, I'm fine. I'm totally fine on my end. It's just weird. I'm like, baby, leave me alone. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Oh my gosh. I don't think it's overheating because I've overheated my computer one time, and it gave me a warning, and it's not doing that. Thank you guys for worrying. Thank you guys that everything's fine. And JCH, I did check. We are rebuking the demons. Don't worry. We did check. The Axel jets are nowhere near us. I just think my computer's being a butthead. My computer's being such a butthead. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to use foul language, guys. Okay. We have. It's that, yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, juice attack. Okay, so the audio's good, but the camera connection, yeah, guys. Oh my gosh. I feel like they're mad at me. I'm like, if you can hear me, Netanyahu, leave me alone. If you can hear me, Netanyahu, like, leave me alone. Okay, all right, I'll keep talking even though the app is being so weird. Well, the foul language was saying butthead. I try not to. Save that for football season, guys. Let me finish off my super chats. And apparently, it just doesn't want to do video. It just keeps saying initializing. Anyway, we are trying to, yes, I know. It doesn't feel that much like a coincidence. You know? Yes. You know what? It's fine. We're here. Yeah. Thank you, Anne. It's like, thank you, Jeannie. Whenever I see your name, I feel happy. Okay, guys, you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We are going to remove the camera from the screen for a moment. Okay. Hey, look, there I am. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I bet you guys can hear me, but you can't see me. I'm going to try to restart it. I think that it's my camera that's just having an issue because, like I said, and thank you everyone for being here. Oh my gosh. Yes. Thank you guys for being here with me because this is a hot mess, but that's so weird. It's never happened. Okay. We soldier on. This is you guys can see my perfect image of my face right there, right? Okay, yeah, that's me. So we're back. We're back. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they can't stand that the potato squad refuses to give up. And that's just how it goes. So we are going to make sure that we read the super chats because I wouldn't want to not. That would be crazy. I would never do that. And also because, sorry, guys, sorry, Donald. Someone called him a really funny name the other day. I can't remember. Oh, Zion Dawn. Bye. That's my favorite. Okay. Let me read these. Okay. TF, as intro, was instructed to go and get the SD card because they saw in real time. Thank you, Shades. That was my thought as well. That was exactly my thought as well. I really do believe that what we were seeing Terrell do was following instructions before anything else. I think my best guess, just at the moment, but my best guess at the moment is that if Terrell received information that he needed to go and get that SD card out of that rear camera, because something that we discovered on a recent stream, we were on with Meech, who's the cameraman for Charlie for the past 10 years, right? Okay, so we were on a stream with him recently, and he was talking to Allie and Max about the ways that the normal camera equipment was set up at the tabling events. What he noted was specifically that having an actual camera as the instrument that was behind behind Charlie was something that's unusual for them. Now, keep in mind that in that situation, it used to be an iPhone. So why was it a camera? The reason I think it's a camera, or that it was a camera, is because it was there for a different purpose, whether that be live streaming, recording, etc., or something more nefarious. But I agree that I think that they saw the camera, and they saw the camera. They saw the camera actually getting some sort of footage that they felt that they needed. And as a result of that, they had to take that actual footage from the camera and go and plug it into the computer to upload it and send it to whomever. My best guess, they said to him in that phone call, hey, send us the rear footage. He said, what? They said, send us the rear footage right now. He said, okay. And then they said, are you able to see anything else, And that's why he sent them over that little selfie weird live stream video. That's my best guess at the moment. I don't know for sure, but thank you for asking, and it's always in mind, Shades. I appreciate you. Critter KC, hi, honey. Anna, were you able to get an answer from the post during the stew stream earlier, Kristen? There is it is in progress. Let's put it like that. It is absolutely in progress. I'm like, I don't want to, guys, obviously they're watching, so, Prime Minister, friend of the show, but we're working on it. It is in progress, and thank you for following up on that, Critter. Yes. I'll get off here, and then I'm going to call Allie back, and then I'm going to say, Allie, oh my gosh, what's going on? Hi, Mag KY girl. Brilliance, bravery, and morality. You're the perfect combination. Thank you so much for saying that. So kind. Thank you. Can you give us some advice on how to be more brave? That's such a beautiful thing to say, so thank you, first of all. And it's a really totally understandable question. You know what I'm going to say, Meg? And thank you for that really kind gift. It means so much to me. You know how you'd be brave? You do it anyway. And you do it no matter what. And courage, in my opinion, is not being afraid. It's not being scared. This is scary stuff. I don't like it. It's not good. It's not great. But you do it anyway because it needs to be done. And that to me is being brave. You don't have to not be scared. This is scary stuff, and I get that. And every person gets that for sure. But being brave doesn't mean that you're not scared. Being brave, being courageous, it just means you do it. You do it anyway because you know that you need to do it. And the truth is that we're at a real fork in the road in this country. And the moment, that any person decides to try to step forward and do whatever they can to be brave and to either look into this or talk to more people about this or just keep going even when the live stream is going crazy and the camera's not working and da-da-da. You know what? You keep going anyway. You do it anyway. Because if you don't, then that really is, to me, that's more scary because then I don't have any chance to do anything about it. And I'd rather speak now and do everything that I can, no matter the circumstances, no matter even if it's not perfect, that's okay. Because you're doing it anyway. And that is what counts. And that to me is being brave. And you be smart and you don't put yourself in bad situations. You don't, don't be being reckless or anything. You're smart. and talk to your friends and your family. But sometimes being brave is having a conversation with somebody that you thought maybe wouldn't understand all this stuff. Sometimes being brave means I'm just going to check the website and, turn in a tip anonymously to a podcaster who's working on it, or turn it into, the local police department, or whatever the case may be. That's at your discretion, what you do with it. Sometimes being brave is just looking and being willing to keep your eyes on this and keep your heart open to it. Sometimes that is being brave, but every single piece of bravery, it builds upon itself, and it makes it easier the next time to open the website again, to check the tail number, to check the database, to send in the tip, to pursue the lead, to talk to the next person about these things that are on your mind and on your heart, and they build on themselves. But every single one of them is a blessing in and of itself, and you do it anyway, no matter what. And then that way, even when it starts to get crazy and zany, right, and stuff is weird, you've already been brave, and you already are brave. And just looking and just keeping your eyes open to these sort of things, sending this super chat, honey, all of those things are acts of bravery. They are. Because they mean that you care, they mean that you're invested, and they mean that you're doing your part, and that you want to do your part, and having your heart in the right place is really, that's the key to the whole thing. So, thank you so much for sending this, and thank you so much for what you said and for your question. They're all important, and you've already taken the first step just by asking it. So I look forward to hearing more from you, Mad Girl. Welcome to, the movement and all that good stuff. I don't know how long you've been on the case, but every single voice is welcome. And whether it's in your personal life or related to Charlie Kirk or related to your workplace or wherever the case may be, any opportunity that you have to stand up and do something, I really do believe that every one of us should take it. So that's what I'll say about that. And I'm sending you love and lots of prayers. Yes, I am hiding. Anna, are you another Anna? Because you have one N, so I'm guessing you're another Anna. But Anna Estrada, hello, darling. I am hiding, not on purpose. Oh my gosh, you guys know I love yapping on here with you guys. I don't mean for it to be that way. So, I love you guys so, so, so much. I want to make sure that I didn't miss anything. And I think we're okay. I'm just scrolling around. Yes, I'm hiding. Oh my gosh, but not on purpose, not even a little bit. And yes, I know. I just wanted to put this up here because I did just see it pop up. Yes, and thank you for this comment, Bren. I wanted to mention that I really appreciate you saying that. And there are excellent investigators that I trust and look forward to hearing from that are also working on that now. Just so everybody knows me, I am like autistically obsessed with Charlie. We will not be able to, but of course, this Joe Fels thing, I find it really compelling and awful. My heart goes out to that poor man, and I know he was doing important work. So I'm not saying that I'm not going to care about it, think about it, want to look at it, peek into it. But guys, I'm my kind of autism, just joking, but my specific kind of neurospiciness is I am a dog with a bone, which means I cannot look away from this Charlie thing until it's resolved. So my computer now is doing the same little weird thing that it was doing a few minutes ago, which probably means that I'm going to wrap this up here because it's really mad at me. But say a little prayer for us, guys. And I'm saying a prayer for all of you. Oh, somebody asked, is Barron going on Rogan? Oh my gosh, what a great conversation. Do you guys think that he will let Rogan get away with not talking about Charlie and playing dumb? I hope he doesn't. I really hope that he doesn't. Now, I know that this has been the hottest of messes of streams, but I appreciate all of you guys for being here. And don't worry, tomorrow we're only kind of talking about crazy stuff. Well, we are every day. We're doing it anyway. That's really what it comes down to. So, yeah, regardless, I'm we'll be here no matter what. I don't care. It's too much work to be done. You have to keep going, Max. That's the laws of the land. So I love all of you. Please, guys, do yourselves a favor and check out what other great streams that there are going on. I think that Allie is going to be going in a few. That's what I'm going to go watch. I think Rio might be going in a few too. Oh my gosh. And then tomorrow, same time, same place. And guess what? We will not be in Lego form. Maybe, but regardless, we're going to be there anyway. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to figure this thing out. We don't have a choice. I love all of you guys. Everybody have a blessed night. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.